Welcome to the Chop Shop. I'm Eddie James with my good brother, DJ React.
Hello. What's up, man?
What up? Mr. React.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it is an honor to have a true pioneer, a behind-the-scenes legend in hip-hop. I mean, come on. He's been a part of a lot of producers and artists, their journeys. I would like to think that he's a journeyman himself.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a great intro. I super appreciate that.
Hey, I'm not finished.
You're still going. Go ahead.
As the mastermind behind Guesswhyld Productions, I mean, I'll end it now. Ladies and gentlemen, goddammit, Matt Fingaz to the Chop Shop.
I'm not allowed to clap for myself because that was a great intro. Thank you so much.
Okay, hey,
I'm happy to be here. Go Syracuse. Go Matt.
See?
Let's go. I'm excited.
Already, man. Thanks for coming, Matt. I mean, what can I say, man? You have been the glue and connect the dots, man, for a long period of time. Started off as you were a producer as well, and a DJ, but you gave up one turntable. We'll talk about that. Talk about that later.
Right?
Yeah, and an MC. Hey, you got bars, you know. But more importantly, man, we brought you to the show because I know that, as far as being a fantastic manager, we'll talk about that. And your artist, Kumbaya, who's super dope, by the way, just a ill MC. You've been in a lot of rooms, a lot. And,
yeah.
Because like Eddie was like, "Yo, Matt Fingaz wants to come on the show," and I was like, "All right, cool. Who's that?" And he was like, "Yo," he was like, and I was doing my research, and I'm like,
"Yeah, man,
this motherfucker's hanging out with everybody,
Yeah, we're putting in the work too, man.
Everybody.
Since 18 years old, I was ripping and running. I just. New York was different back in the days. Like, there were places to go. Studios were incredible. Like, you had D&D studios. You had Unique Recordings. You had Right Track.
Unique. That was my spot.
Sound on Sound. There was so many spots to go to back then.
Yeah.
That what I would do is you go studio hopping.
Yeah.
That's what, we didn't go club hopping. We went studio hopping.
Isn't that kind of sad? Like the death of the studio.
Yes.
Like, for real, man. Like, what happened? Like, Chung King.
Happened, man.
People having shit at home for $200.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happened. People didn't need to pay $1,000 a session. They didn't need to pay 200 something for the 2-inch reel. Mm-hmm. They didn't need to pay the engineer $1,000. It was expensive. Guys, I really feel like for you to want to do records back then, you had to sacrifice and take risk. Like, with your money, you had to go, you know what? To do 3 records was going to cost you thousands of dollars. The beats, I knew Eddie's name from then, right? Because all the True Criminal stuff and FT and the Godsons and all that stuff. And
shouts to everybody,
We all know beats weren't going for $500. They were like $1,000 minimum out your pocket. Okay.
Yeah.
Upwards towards beat miners, and those got $3,000, right? For independent.
Yeah.
Premiere was like 5 racks.
Yeah.
Minimum for independent.
And that was really like you getting him on a great day because
or you were getting a throwaway.
And then he's gonna tell you, or either that or I'm booked for the next 3 years. I heard, he told somebody that. Like,
it was real. Premiere I was in the studio every day at D&D, and Premiere wanted to work with Mike Zoot. But the thing that he did was he said, come to me with your finished album, and I just want to top everybody.
He said, first of all, for the people, Mike Zoot, shout out to Mike Zoot.
Yeah, shout to Mike Zoot. He's that's my guy.
Yeah.
But he, you had to come to him with all the other songs done first. So you had to spend months on those just to get to him and wait online for more months. And you just go, I can't wait. And you would just end up going to Buck Wild and, and these other guys. And you're like, look, that's my only regret. Preem's my guy, but I really wish that I had worked with him at least once during that time period.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of Preem, I don't want to go too far off track. I do have a side question for you.
Yeah.
Have you heard the Premier and Nas album at all? Snippets?
No. Damn. Not yet. No. Sorry to let you down on that one. I said I have not been privy to those sessions. I mean, most of the time they're not like exactly hanging out in the studio. He's probably Nas has a setup at his home or something.
Of course,
where he goes to see him or whatever. But
I would think Primo would probably want Nas in the room.
Yeah,
I mean, you tell me. I mean, it's a great topic. I mean, we said that with a producer. It's just about having the energy in the room as opposed to sending files. I mean, I can feel. Yeah. Well, how do you feel about that?
I went out of so in the 90s, we had what we spoke about, the community, but we had no cameras. So there was no documentation of it. So really what I did was in 2011, I started trekking around the world doing a documentary series called Road to My Human Experience. And basically I missed community. Like I missed connecting with people in person. So I was telling Hi-Tek, don't email me any beats. I'm coming to Cincinnati. And I would drive all the way there. And Bink, I went all the way to Norfolk. I went to see Nas and Bink in Virginia. Don't email me anything. Because it was like, I know you're not going to send me that beat. You're going to play Jay-Z and Nas or whatever. Right. I got to come to your crib and you're going to pull out that hard drive and I'm going to hear everything. But it wasn't just about that. It was like...
No, but that's very smart. And I mean, just a trip. Like, I'm going to pull up on you, B. Like, you're not just going to send me...
Everywhere. I went the whole country. If there was a producer in South Dakota, I was going.
Yeah.
But really what it was is in New York City itself, you still have Quad and a couple of spots, but you can't just walk up in Quad. Like you have to have a session going. So what I did was I booked Mercy Sound Studios with my guy Cuss, and I invited.
Did you just Cuss? Say, come on, a kid Cuss, man?
Named Cuss. Cuss is the best.
Yo, Cuss, I love you, brother, and I know you tune into the show. Cuss was one of my first like real engineers. I met Cuss at Power Play. I think it was Power Play.
Dude, Power Play with Domingo and Cuss. That was it. Man. Spider D. Okay, that was the spot. Cuss. You know what I love about Cuss is that he's still Cuss.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. And that means React is one of the great engineers. Seriously, like one of the longest 10 years. He's still doing it. Congratulations, Cuss, because he just got a Grammy nod for poetry album that he mixed for Matt Skills. Yeah.
He did post it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Let's go, Cuss.
He mixed that.
Cuss is my first session I ever did with It was actually it was Lace the Booms. Domingo did the beat. Buck Wild did the other side, and Cuss was the engineer recording and mixing.
And did he have did he take his Timbs off and walk around in his socks?
Yeah,
the whole section.
You know what?
We all know that.
Every season, winter, spring, summer, fall, Timbs,
always
Dickies, right?
And I don't know if he drink. I don't know if he drinks still or drinks.
No.
Heineken. That's great.
He's a water guy now.
Back in the day, it was Heineken. I do remember that. The
Heineken and Hennessy. That's all I drank.
He's the fastest engineer when it comes to editing. The fastest. There's nobody quicker. But he treats the keyboard, like it's like a turntable, like boom, 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 psh. And he's moving his hands.
That's them hotkeys, bro.
Hey, one of the best ears in the game. Did a lot of true criminal stuff. You know, sometimes as producers, and we can all relate, we do a beat at the crib, and it sounds great, right? And then you bring it to the studio, and whatever, it's something always missing. Like it just doesn't sound the same anymore. Cuss was the first guy who was just like, you know, because I had some ones that, you know, some engineers outside of Steve Cap, who's my brother, that, you know, you go in there and it's just like, man, it don't hit the same way it did at my crib. Yeah. You know, and Cuss was the first one like, hey, I'm not going to do that much to it. You know, just, you know, it's things that I know.
It's surgery. It's frequency surgery.
Yeah.
If you're surgical with the EQ and you know what to take out and what's phasing what, and you know how to navigate whatever DAW you're using, whether it's or whatever plugins you're using. I mean, you could be as surgical as you want, especially nowadays, man. Technology is just nuts, you know?
You know what Cuss did well, too? He could really relate to the artists and the producers. So he was able to communicate with them where they would actually listen to him. Whereas other guys were just button pushing. Right? Well, let me tell you. So what we did was at Mercy Sound, that was Cuss's new spot everybody came to, right, on 14th Street and Lower East Side.
Yep.
And what I did was I would have sessions for the soundtrack for my film project, and I would invite everybody to sessions. Like if you see these pictures, I'll show you guys. There's like 20 people in the room. The beat miners are in there with 88 keys and Large Professor. And then another session, the beat miners are with Buck Wild, or Buck Wild's with this one. I invited everybody, but it was because of the years that it was done.
Yeah.
There was no more community.
Yeah.
And I wanted people to like the way we used to connect with each other energy wise. We used to like the records we would make, you couldn't make through an email. You couldn't just send someone a beat, they send the vocals back. There were beautiful accidents that would happen even while we were doing automation with the drops. I used to be big into the automated drops, right? And you would clip a snare in half and go, oh, whoa, what is that?
Yeah.
Keep that. But you would never get it when you're on purpose moving dots, right? Not to knock that, but I like the beautiful accidents. Right.
Yeah, man. It's crazy you say that because I remember, my cousin and I, Seth Marcel, we did a record and it was crazy for whatever reason. I'm in the vocal booth and we couldn't figure out what the hell. There was like a loose sound, and come to find out, I had a whole bunch of keys, and it was the sound of my keys, but where it was in the vocals where he was doing, it was perfect, and we kept the shit. Like, I mean, like, so I get it. Yeah, I
love it. I miss it. I don't do studios like Kumbaya. That's what I was trying not to bring it to her yet, but Kumbaya. That's what I wanted to bring to her sessions. Right?
Yeah,
is the in-person collaboration. How important that is to creating songs. I mean, there was sometimes, look at Big. Big would be in the studio and Little C's would crack a joke on the couch and he would turn it into a line. You would never get that being isolated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like to have a certain like energy around you of freedom and creativity is incredible. And we'll talk about that later in the
but we can always I'm glad you brought that up because that just reassures that it's just it's better to be in the room. I'm not knocking. There's a lot of magic that's happened and the files have been sent. It's the way of the world now. Files been sent and stuff like that. But I just believe them, like for real, like the magic was with the producer and the artist right there in that room. So I just saw A. Marie she's coming out. She's coming out with a new joint. I'm sorry if I can't remember the producer, but
Harrison.
No, it wasn't Rich Harrison.
No.
But it was they're literally probably on Instagram right now streaming live, and she's in the room with him, and it's just it feels like she never missed a step. I mean, that's the power of being in a room with your production. You
know what inspired me recently? Based off that, it was watching Amy Winehouse's movie. Right. I mean, I wasn't the biggest. The movie was tragic. I mean, just her and her addiction. But when you would see like her recording, or what she did with Salaam Remi and Mark Ronson, that is magic, timeless, that you cannot do through an email. Now, but I'm with you, Eddie. Though, like I think
I can't watch that movie. Yeah.
It's tough.
She was incredible. She was
so incredible that I know it's gonna break my. I seen it. It always pops up every time I.
Tragic.
Yeah, it is. But go ahead. I'm saying.
No, what I was just saying is like, look, I can't knock it. I do the other thing too. The files being sent, send me back the vocals. We'll figure it out. But when you experience something, it's hard to like forget that, right? Yeah. It's the same thing with your bar for MCs and producers and beat making, right? It's like I'm in the sessions with Big Pun. I'm in sessions with Big L. I've been around the Pharoah Monches and it's hard to hear somebody who's okay and call them amazing. Is what I'm getting at. It's it's like and I respect them and I respect these. It's not an old new thing.
That's a gem right there, man, and it's the truth.
And I'm saying it's not an old head, new head thing. There's plenty of new MCs like that are incredible, right? The JIDs and the Kendricks and these guys are incredible. Yes. But I'm just talking about like you can't get me to accept mediocrity as the norm. I'm just not. I don't subscribe to it, And I think our age bracket, none of us could really. I mean, go listen to a Tribe Called Quest album and then try to make something regular.
Matt, Matt, you sound like you sound like somebody I know. You sound like a fellow brother of the Chop Shop by the name of House Shoes. You sound exactly like him.
Yeah,
in what you're saying.
Shares the same sentiment.
House Shoes is a cool guy, right?
Yeah.
He knows
same exact sentiment. Yeah,
but it's the truth. I mean, and I feel like we speak about mediocrity. Like honestly, some of the people right now, executives who are in power still today, would literally laugh some of these producers out of a room if they played the same shit. And I kind of have a hard time with that. I get it. You got to see. At the end of the day, you got to sell records, man. But if you played, I know the times change. I don't know, but musically, they know some. I mean, come on, man. Some of these beats are just arpeggiated. It sounds like the same thing over again. And I'm not hating because I've seen guys and a lot of producers like Soundwave, Kendrick, and that can just master that. Even Tyler Creator, as a producer, man, just can take trap, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it, 808, and just really make it dope. I mean, that's the way it is. But some of these beats are terrible, man. And actually, you know what? I want to put something out here. Before we go further, I made a comment. I made a comment about Swizz Beatz. And I think I may have been misunderstood, excuse me. So I'm gonna set the record straight. All right. So I did not say Swizz Beatz is garbage or trash. Let's be real. Swizz is in that bracket with pivotal producers. All right. What I did say is, for me, I feel like he might be I stand on it. He is the most overrated producer. All right. What I meant to say is beat maker. And I had a long conversation with Matt Fingaz.
Yeah.
And sometimes I love learning, and he made the differential between the two, and I know the two, I just wasn't thinking. But I am going to stand on what I said. Yeah, and I feel like some of those beats and we'll leave it here. For me, did not age well. It's all subjective. I think he's one of the greatest producers. I just, it just doesn't resonate amongst the producers that I feel are deemed, it just doesnn't match up. And that's all I have to say. I love his music, and he does have a lot of joints. And reacting those guys, and Kelsey, they were like, wait a minute, he got like super fire. And there's a shit ton of joints that he does have. So I have all the respect for Swizz Beatz. Nobody told me to do this shit. I still stand on what I said, and it's subjective. I'm okay. People should be okay with that. I'm okay with everybody else's opinion. It's an opinion. So
art is subjective. Music is subjective. Yeah. I just like to, I've always differentiated for many years of like beat maker, music producer.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's talk about it.
Even when you would go rappers and you would go, okay, would you consider Dr. Dre a rapper? No, but he raps, and he's made some of the greatest rap records ever. So I agree with you, bro. Like, I never liked Triton and Trinity keyboard beats.
Yeah.
I never
you don't agree with me about what I said about let's be clear about Swizz. Let's be clear. I know you don't.
Just sticking with Swizz for a second. Swizz is one of the greatest visionaries and music producers in hip hop history.
Okay.
Swizz
I agree with that.
Not known and is not one of the greatest beat makers in the history of hip hop, because we're talking about the beats. Like, I was watching Wolverine and Deadpool yesterday again.
Great movie.
There's like a bunch of Swizz records in that movie, right?
Yeah.
But it was like, bring them out. And it's like, and the energy is good, but you're like, I wouldn't listen to this in the car. Like, I wouldn't, this is not something I'd work out to in the gym now. Right?
Yeah.
In comparison to DR period Annie Up, which I will listen to all
over
day.
And over again. Pete Rock Shut 'Em Down remix.
We could go to a lot of Swizz Beatz joints and literally technically go. I mean, Money Cash Hoes was just him wiping his hand over the keyboard, right?
Yeah.
Money Cash Hoes, Money Cash. But you know what? That song was right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't, and I'm glad you said that, because I don't. That's not. That is not what I said on the last episode. I just said that, first of all, great producer all around. Because I'm a DJ, and listen, you throw any of his records on, it's automatic. I just said, like, I said what I said, but you're right,
you don't
man.
even need a further disclaimer that I think that you said it clear, right?
Yeah. No, I think some people probably, will probably feel like, I was trying to be funny, but I really wasn't. I stand on that, but I just had it mixed up, and you brought it to my attention, as far as,
to remix the conversation, bro. We're remixing and continuing the convo. I think it's it's a fluid topic.
Yes,
okay? It's a fluid topic. I'm with you though. Like, trust me, Just Blaze, I have a lot of his first beats that no one's ever heard, right? Triton and Trinity keyboard beats. His were just more intricate than Swizz. He had these really complex intros that were really nice. He played by ear, right? But the pad with the little scratch in it, and it was like, I hated those beats, right? But there was a time period in hip hop where that was working.
Oh, absolutely.
Dame Grease had his own version of it. Yeah. And then, Digga was doing his thing. Yeah. And then, and then you had Just Blaze. And then, but we're just really, see, people don't know this, is that Just Blaze could make any type of beat before you even heard him. He was like, yo, Just make me an Eric Sermon joint. And he would make an Eric Sermon joint. Just make me play over Thundercats and make a beat out of Thundercats theme music. And he would go dun 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 dun, dun, like whatever.
Yeah.
And
Just
but when
super talented.
He's very, very talented guy. And
I would like to hear the first batch of beats though.
I got him. I played them. He knows I have them. I have them on 2-inch reel, and I have them on CD, and I have DATs.
Yeah.
I have everything.
I have to come and hang out in here. So I got little jokes for Just who's supposed to be coming on the show.
And he could rap.
We'll see.
People don't know that either. He was rapping too back then, right?
Yeah.
He break dances. Every birthday party.
He's a student, complete student of the game, man. And by the way, just like one, definitely, arguably, top. Listen, arguably, you can put him in that top 5 for real when it comes to like certain records, like pivotal records, man.
I think he's top 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Just Blaze is an amazing producer and beat maker. He's both, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I believe he's definitely top 5 beat makers for sure. And I'm gonna give you another name that people sleep on that for many years was just. It's the reason why we cringe at certain type of beats, like you're talking about Swizz Beatz physical production. You go to No ID, right?
He's
No ID, fire, bro. Doug Infinite, bro. Let me tell you,
Doug Infinite's ill with it too.
Ill,
yeah,
super ill. Listen, Doug's my guy since Relativity when I was interning there, and I would go to Chicago 2002. And it would be me, No ID, Doug Infinite, Just Row, and Lupe Fiasco was just starting. He was in the next room. And what Doug would do was all day do chops. That's what he was doing. No drum, just chops. And then he would go give the chops to No ID, and No ID would make the production out of it. And when I would hear that the bar got raised. And Easy LP in New York, like his beat tapes, right? And we'll talk about the B-tape collection that I have, but the B-tapes ELP, it just made it so that this was the new bar. And then if you had beats like that, it had to be that. Otherwise, I'm not buying it. So, you know what I mean? Like Buck Wild had such a high bar too, you know? And then if you went into, and Hi-Tek was so creative with those. He was the first producer with moving bass lines, right?
Oh, that's debatable. Ooh.
From what I was gathering, Buck Wild, Beat Miners, Lord Finesse, all these guys would filter the main loop, and make it in the S950, and it would be the bass line of the record, and then they would.
I understand that. I just feel like there was this guy James DeWitt Yancey.
This before Dilla.
No, it's not.
No, I'm talking about the beats I was hearing from Hi-Tek before Quality and Hi-Tek came out.
Okay.
I'm talking.
Well, we gotta. That's what I said. Like, I say this is what I love about this show, man, because like I know you're a seasoned veteran, and we're
Dilla though, for sure.
But I just feel like that statement right there is. I feel like
it was
one of them.
He was basing it on his timeline though.
Definitely one of them. Because Hi-Tek, I mean, come on, he's a god.
One of them. Let me rephrase.
He's got godlike producer. But yeah, I mean, come on, I mean, shit. If you want to talk about that too, I mean, I think Pete Rock's bases were moving. You know, he had them shits.
I'm not talking about Down with the King, and then they have the, I'm not talking
about some of his funky joints that he,
like I'm talking about the way he was making these natural sounding basses. They weren't like filtered. They weren't 808s. They were like, they felt like someone was playing a bass guitar, but he was moving the pads to them. I'm not saying he's one of the first. Let me rephrase. You got to rephrase. I'm going to rephrase.
Because, woof, man.
One of
basses.
Them.
All right.
One of them.
And one of the dopest too.
And the pocket, he would catch the bass line in.
Yeah.
He would put it in places that were non-traditional, right?
That's
Whereas
true.
and Knots Raw too. Knots Raw, he was a little later.
Man,
but Knots Raw with those moving,
like a React looking over there, like
Knots Raw's bass lines were so dope, man. It made people think outside the box. I love, like you were talking about Dilla, how the drums untruncated or whatever, or like they were kind of like slipping off grid. A little bit, you know what I mean? Like it had an awkward little bounce to it. Man, people were not. That's the problem with listening to a lot. That's the only thing about some of the hip hop in the 90s that got dated was the stiffness of the drums, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. The hi-hats were and it was like, all right, back then, fire. Now you're like, all right.
All right. There's no question about it. I mean, and that's why I say, like, sometimes, we can talk about Dilla's influence all day, man. But, I'm sure there were other you know, actually, I don't know that. I know that Dilla's influence on the no truncation and all that stuff, you know, leaving, you know, the hi-hat loose and stuff like that, and everything delayed. You know, I think it changed the game still to this day. I mean, and you think about it, you know, it's actually smarter, and that would be something along with the evolution of beat making too. You know, obviously you want to sound a little bit more closer to, you know, a drummer. You know, So, but,
I mean, I'll say
but there's some 1/8, there's some 1/4 from 1/8 beats that's, you know, even some 1/16 straight up that are the other elements. I mean, the other elements are crazy. You know.
You know what I loved? I loved Ali Shaheed and Q-Tip, how they would merge and blend two different records together.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
so the drums are from one, and then the loop is from another, and the hook music might even be from another record.
Yeah.
And it was just, I even try to get Tip. I try to get Tip for Kumbaya. I try. He was like, I like Kumbaya is dope, but
that's a really, really good impression.
He's like,
thank you. It's very. I practice like most Def. If I close my eyes, I would have thought Q-Tip was. That's crazy.
What's up? React. You know. So Eddie,
Eddie, let me focus.
Word.
Yo, but I went to him and he's like,
"Yo, you already, she's dope, but I want my own female artist, right?" And I was like, right, and I was like, bro, I was like, dude, I told my homeboy Litro, I said, tell Q-Tip that he can have equity in the situation. I think Q-Tip and Kumbaya would make magic. Right?
Man. Oh my god.
But he he had just finally put out LL Cool J project, right? That he did. And I was like, damn, I gotta move on. But I then went and said, hey, how about Ali Shaheed? I was like, but I didn't get to LA in time. So
Ali's very, very dope. I mean, like, when I listened to Lucy Pearl, and I hadn't listened in a long time. I was like, ooh,
fire.
Him and Raphael.
Raphael Sadiq. The music that Raphael Sadiq was making. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, bro. I'm talking about timelessness, right?
Yeah.
Like shit. Like I'm not saying everybody has to do that, right?
Yeah.
But it's like if I have an opportunity, like, okay, we're on Def Jam or whatever, and there's an operating budget. I'm like, why just get beats emailed when you have an opportunity to do things you can't normally do?
That's right.
Let's go and fly places and go. And you know what's funny? Like even going to Spring Valley and Marley, the House of Hits with Marley Marl, going to Stankonia and working with Organized Noise, going to see these Havoc in person here. You're actually inspiring them as well, because it's been, I'll say it out loud. Each one of them pulled me to the side, Ray Murray, Marley, and Havoc, and said, man, it has been a long time since I got inspired by something.
Yeah.
Right. Besides just the old heads or whoever they're used to working with.
The energy, man. The energy is really,
just the technique and the patterns that Kumba has. And
you see him just drop names on us like that too, React. How easy he
casual,
I know. Just casual, like name drops, like,
dude. What am I supposed to say?
He said Organized Noise, man. Like one of arguably the best team of producers that ever did it. Like in hip hop. You told me about that. We had that conversation. How that went down with Organized Noise.
I would love to tell that story publicly. I have not really fully. I don't think I said it on when we were up at Shade 4-5 with Eclipse.
Okay,
but basically, I got to a point where I felt like it was time to have Kumbaya exhibit all three of her skills: rapping, singing, and drumming on one record.
Yeah.
And I was like, Kumba, send me a playlist of things you like. And Kumba sent over a playlist, and the Outkast was on there. Right? Jill Scott was on. There's a bunch of stuff, K-Tronada, whatever. Yeah. And I said, okay, who do I know that knows Ray or Rico?
right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of these guys were hard to, you couldn't find them. They were not, they're not on social media like that.
No,
if they have a page, they will check it 6 months later. Like, so I hit up my guy, Fort Knox.
Rest in peace, Rico, by the way.
Rest in peace, Rico. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you how dedicated this guy was. He was incredible. Is that my guy, Fort Knox, told Ray Murray, yo, Matt's trying to reach you. He's got this artist. I drove all the way from Orlando at the time I was down there. I don't know, 7.5 hours.
Yeah.
Pull up. I don't have any money on me. I don't know where I'm spending the night, right? My money didn't come in yet. I pull up to Stankonia and say, you know what? Game face on. All the life stress rear view.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make this happen. I walk in the room and it was like America's Got Talent. Ray and two other guys are literally at the console desk. Like, you know, like you have the console and then you have like the you know, where you could put your MPC and you put all the, you know, your equipment.
Yeah.
They're sitting there and I walk in the room literally like I'm in front of a council, right? of musicians, right? And I'm like, they're like, Matt, give us the pitch. I tell them exactly what I needed to say. They said, wow, amazing. Now let's hear the pitch, right? And I play it. He said, stop. And I said, what? He said, he puts his arm around me, right? And says, I've been talking to my wife, looking for something to inspire me. Yeah. It's been years, right? First, he said, thank you for finding me. Because it's not, he knows. He was like, I know it's not easy to find me.
Right.
Because he's not that accessible. And he said, look, I'm not only going to do the music with you, I'm calling everybody in. Sleepy Brown, Rico, Preston, the bass guitarist, the drum, everyone, right? Background singers, the whole nine. And I said, I call up the accounts payable. I was like, yo, get us the plane tickets. Get us the gas. And I don't care. Yeah. Right? We're going to make, and then 3 weeks later, we went down and made it happen. And Rico shows up straight out the hospital. He still has, like, I have a bunch of them. I don't know where I put them because I've been in the hospital a lot. But there was a band around his wrist. He's like, yo, I just got out of the hospital. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And we sat in a room. He said to everybody, he said, you guys hungry? I said, yeah. I said, you know, what do you want? He said, Italian. And he was like, he ordered food for the whole room, right? First time meeting us, right? Then me and him are just me and him in the lounge eating whatever we're eating. And we talk, and he tells me that he was at some event and he started sweating. It was like he was feeling off, right? But he was bugging out a little bit, and people were just so used to him being a character, they didn't think he was sick. Yeah. So it took a minute for them to go, oh, we need to call 911, right?
Wow.
They go ahead, take him to the hospital. I think it was like, if I'm not mistaken, they're like stents. Like it had to do with the heart, I believe. Yeah. Somewhere in that category.
Okay.
Right. And for this guy to be hospitalized with something that serious, that's not like a minor injury. Right. And he's in there. And the first thing he does, he's like, I got drums. I got drums for us. I was like, and Kumba's like this. And then Sleepy's like this. Yeah. They were like, that's it right there. That's it. He maybe played 3 things before we said that was it. Right. And it was just drums. Literally. Kick snare. That's it. And then Sleepy got on.
And that's got to be difficult because, I mean, not difficult, but crazy. It had to be crazy because Kumba's a drummer.
I'm going to play it for you.
Ooh.
I'm going to play it. And you know what's funny? And I'll tell you the story about it. So, Sleepy's on the keys, right? Prestone, like all the Outkast musicians are there. And they're all like contributing they're just jamming out. They're jamming out for hours and they're recording as they're jamming out and then taking the pieces that work, right? And then, so what happens is I tell Ray, I said, I really want to show off Kumba's drumming skills. So they set up the kit for her, right? Boom, she goes in there. She went off for like 20 minutes straight of just, I mean, I'm talking, this could be a drum pack, okay? Of just Kumba on the drums. And then we did a bridge and she's singing and she's rapping and
Yeah, it was an amazing. We had 3 days on one record, 3 days on one song.
Ooh.
Right? And he gave me some beats too. And then 3 weeks, and I'll tell you, then 3 weeks later, he passes. That's such a blessing. Like people take for granted sometimes, but man, that I got to be in a session my whole life. I've only worked with him once, right?
Yeah.
And it was like 3 weeks later, he passes, but his energy was so infectious and he was so easy to talk to, you know? Yeah. And he was such a visionary and creative. He was the life of the room. I'm not going to lie. Like I have a personality, but this guy walks in the room and just lights it up.
He had this, like just a crazy, like, persona, whole aura about him, you know?
He's on 100 all the time. I didn't see him calm. Not, maybe maybe he was ADHD. I don't know what, but he was on one.
And the music speaks for itself. I mean, man, just organized noise, man. Think about their contribution, man. But they actually changed the game.
Yes,
I believe they really, there were people before them, but they really put the South on the map, like real.
They're
like
slept on still. Open. I think they're slept on.
Oh yeah, there's no question. I think, but you said you had, we're here for lay some treats on.
Oh, you know what I do have? I think I do have. I have the record. Not that, but I got a record that I did with Prodigy and G-Rap with Knots Raw on the beat that only a handful of people have heard.
Dude, I got some
lay some. Who used to say that? Lay some treats on
the Future Flavors, baby. Where we're here from. Lay some treats. That's Fat Albert, baby. Those indie years, man. There was nothing like it, man. Talk about your beginnings, like for real, like because when we talked about it, I was like, wow, like you really you really were in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
Okay, so I was a vinyl whore. I loved.
Understandable.
It didn't matter what if it was a Patra or Shaggy record. I wanted it. So when I was DJ, just an instrumental and an acapella. I just wanted records with instrumentals and acapellas, right?
Yeah.
Because I used to do the blend. Anyway, I did college radio at Pace University, first WICB in Ithaca, upstate.
Oh,
right? Yeah. And I would call up the record labels for free records. That's what I wanted. And I had no aspirations to be in the music business. I didn't even know what the music business was, right?
Yeah.
So I called up Blunt Recordings, TVT. At the time, it was Mike Geronimo, right? Shit's Real. And then Relativity, right? Bone Thugs and Fat Joe's, Flo Joe, and all that shit was going on over there. And I interned Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
You said Bone Thugs?
Yeah, Bone Thugs. Relativity. With
on Relativity before Def Jam.
Eazy-E, Ruthless was through Relativity.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, my bad.
So they had Common, Beat Nuts, Fat Joe.
Yeah.
That's how I met Doug Infinite and No ID through the Common Connect or whatever. But so what happened Monday, Wednesday, Friday was Blunt, right? Tuesday, Thursday was Relativity. So I was interning at 2 labels at the same time. And while I was there, I was meeting Buck Wilds and Domingos and Fat Joes and all these people. I mean, I was with Mike Geronimo and Royal Flush and Ja Rule and Irv Gotti every day, right? But Irv Gotti wasn't Irv Gotti. He was DJ Irv, right? Sha Money XL wasn't the president of G Unit. He was from Queens making beats for Royal Flush and Cormega.
Yeah,
right?
Shouts to Sha, man. We were both interns at Def Jam.
And what it was is I'm watching the evolution of all of these things, like Capone and Noriega, all these guys. Traj was the guy, not CNN. But you know what? When you take a step back and you're like, oh my God, you're like watching history unfold, right? And then what happened was the funny story was in 96, right? Yeah, about 96. The Chappie, the guy who hired me at Blunt, came up to me and was like, yo, we can no longer use your services. I was like, what do you mean? He said, the mailroom hates you, right? I was like, I said, what's wrong with the mailroom? They were like, I would tape up packages like they were Christmas gifts. Like I'd waste all their supplies. Like it was awful, right? Right? It was like this, right? Like vinyl boxes used to be just one strip of tape. Mine was corners. Mine was like, it was just nuts. Like I would definitely not be Santa's helper.
So I go ahead.
That's so fucking funny. Yo,
I said, bro,
shit's like, rah.
Yo, it looked crazy. But I said to him, bro, you're firing me. I work for free. Matter of fact, I pay to work here. Right? I pay every day to work here. He said, man. I'm so sorry. So I'm sitting in the middle of Blunt recordings, and I said to myself, I'm an economics major at Pace. Yeah. Or do I start my own label with the connections I made from interning? Right? And my friend Brandon at the time was doing the Derelict records over in Japan. And I walked into his room one time and he had boxes and he had a check on his desk. And I said, dude, what's that? He said, yeah, I got a check. I said, $1,000, you're rich, right? Like at the time, I'm a kid. So $1,000 looked like 100,000.
Yeah.
Right? I said, I want to do that. So basically, I had some money saved up as a kid, not a lot. And I said, listen, I want to go ahead and find an artist. So I found Lace the Booms. And I was like, you know what? I know Buck Wild and Domingo and Flush. Yo. And Domingo hooked me up with Power Play and Cuss. Yeah. And he gave me the family discount. And he taught me how to make records. Right?
Yeah.
And once I had the distributor and manufacturer in Japan, now the money is coming in. So now I'm able to take that money from the first one. It sold almost 10,000, right?
Yeah.
And back then you could do the math. Like, yo, this is what I spent. This is what I made. Da, da, da. Flip that into Mike Zoot records. So then I was like, yo, I met Hi-Tek and Kweli. Kweli was going to NYU at the time.
Man.
Hi-Tek and Kweli were making music. This is before Raucous, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, man.
Yo, pre-Raucous. Yo, Kweli says, Matt, I want you to put out this Eternal Reflection album. It was EP. It wasn't Reflection Eternal. It was Eternal Reflection, right? And all they had was 4 to 5 live. All the other songs no one's heard, right?
Yeah.
And they said, yo, Matt, I think you should get, Kweli said it, I think you should get Mos Def on your record with Mike Zoot. And you should get Hi-Tek to do the beat, right? Yeah. Hi-Tek never put a record out independently. First beat ever. Right, so the other previous beat was Mood and Royal Flush. So Mos Def at the time was not Mos Def. He had just only did Stakes Is High album with De La.
Yeah,
and he was on
maybe the hook on Bush Babies.
He was no. That's what I was gonna say. Everybody, yeah. So Mos Def did that, and we would go up to Battery Studios where Bush Babies would record.
That's right.
And it would be me and Kweli and Hi-Tek and Mos Def and Mr. Man and all of them, right?
Crazy.
And from that point, it was like, it just kept rolling, like the addiction to doing, like I never had the aspiration to compete with the guy around the corner. I wanted to have records play right after Keith Murray and OC and these guys. I never made records to want to like battle little whoever down the block.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's like you're buying the records at the store. You want that's the type of shit you want to make, even if it's not as up to that level. You at least want to try, right?
Right.
And for many years, that's how I made a lot of my connections and got all those beat tapes. It was from putting out independent records, and we're talking about Skill. Skill was the only other one besides me.
Shout out to my brother Lee Skill Resnick.
Shout out to Skill and shout out to FT.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they were the only other ones that used major label producers on records besides me. Everybody else was like DJ Spinner would put out records, or, you know, there was a couple of Geology, but never like Buck Wild and DJ OG. And it wasn't like that. But just that was the life back then. And then it was, you know, I was just a kid. They used to call me, beat miners used to call me Little Drew. Because they were like, you're like little Drew. And I was like, but guys, I was literally a teenager.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, but I always felt like I wanted to take some of the essence of what I experienced then and bring it to now.
Yeah.
You know, which it is a challenge.
I mean, being in the room with all those heavyweight producers, man, are there any memorable times or memorable studio sessions that you can talk about, or being in a room with a certain producer? Like, actually, like certain producers, man. As far as cooking up, like Who was the illest?
Oh.
You've been in the room with a lot.
I'm gonna tell you.
Can't even ask that.
No, I'm gonna tell you categories. Sequencing. Category sequencing. Starring. DJ Spinna was the illest sequencer I had ever seen at that time. Me, physically. He would take the loop and chop, but he would give you like 7 different versions of it in the same record.
Oh my God. Hey, React. Do you have it? Oh my God.
What if? What if?
Rising to the chops. Spinning record. When I tell you that it's the illest.
Oh yeah,
Kenny
Matt, you ever heard that shit? Have you heard that shit?
Yo,
no. Oh my God.
Please find it.
You know what it was?
Find it. No, find it for him, bro. Trust me, bro.
No. Wait, you talking about, bro? Listen.
Let's pause first. Yeah, please find it. React. Yo,
this is gonna.
It's the illest dude. Kenny Burke flip ever. It might be one of the dopest flips. When I listen to it, I automatically lose my mind.
This is gonna fuck you up. Hold on.
I have a category for sequencing and best chops, and I'm going to give out the awards after we listen to this.
Okay.
Well, for the 90s, early 2000s, from my listening, not the public, but from what I've heard.
And if you know records, and if everybody knows this record, just what he did to it,
he very slept on. Very slept.
Man, I told him that, man. I was like, man, you're if not one of the most slept on DJs ever. Like, I mean, not DJs, but producers in hip hop. Like, for real, Spinna is ill with it.
Did you? I don't know if you remember. Ask Spinna, but Dilla's favorite beat was a Spinna beat that I rapped on called "Fruits of Labor in the Sunshine." It was like, let the sunshine, blah blah blah.
Oh,
it's on iTunes. It's called Fruits of Labor in the Sunshine. The longest title ever. Fruits of Labor in the Sunshine.
That's way back in the day.
Ask Spinna. Dilla hit him immediately and was like, ask him.
Yeah.
Ask him. He was so ill. I had no business.
Oh, it's right here. Wisdom Life.
Yeah, that was, you know what I had no business doing? Rapping on records and then pressing wax. Like, I should have had a demo phase where I at least filtered out, like, no, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
But the beat was dope though for then. It was like 90, 97. It was 97, 98.
All right, you ready? Here you go.
Play me Spinna.
I got goosebumps right now, bro. This is the craziest.
I mean, everybody knows the record, yeah.
Just the way he's flipping it.
Does it change up again?
Oh man, does it? He's doing it right now. I mean, like, are you kidding me?
No one rapped on this?
Oh my God, man! No. Please. This is straight.
1-2. He's throwing it down.
Yo, you had to get this to Kumbaya, bro. I'm telling you. Yo, crazy. This was one of the illest chops for real.
Craziness.
Oh no! Play part. Play this part. It's coming. Because he stayed right here. Check it out.
Right there.
Right here.
That's a real
Watch
fan.
this.
That's a real fan of chops right there. I like that.
Come on, bro. All right, bro. Oh my God. Shouts to DJ Spinna, man.
Shout out to DJ Spinna.
That shit is crazy.
Spinna was the first producer that I met that had a studio in his crib. And you could record and mix records with Spinna. If you paid him his money, You would get the song recorded and mixed right out the crib. Nick Wiz was the other one.
Holy shit, Nick Wiz, man.
Nick Wiz, we would go over there and he had the 1/2 inch. I think it was a 1/2 inch. He could confirm it. A 1/2 inch reel, and he would record it. And he had this booth, and we did so many records over there, like overseas, and it was a lot. But he had a dog that everybody was scared of. We had this big ass dog.
Where was Nick Wiz from?
New Jersey.
Yes, okay.
Right?
The records that he did for the dog? Who's that? I'm sorry. The records that he did for the Cellar Dwellers. Oh my god,
Rakim.
Yes,
bro. The two scariest places to make records were Nick Wiz and PF Cuttin.
PF Cuttin spot.
Yo, his dogs. Okay,
he had a spot in East New York that was I don't remember the dogs, but it was like a store, right? And then
I walked out. Okay. Okay. Because you could ask Steele from Smith & Wesson. He actually got bit. He got bit. Shit. Like major. He's like, fuck this. I'm not coming back to this.
Well, that's why there were no dogs there that time.
I can't do dogs or cats in studios. Dogs for the one reason, and then the cats for the allergic reason. I'm like, I'm not popping Benadryl up in here all day to just sit and watch beats get made. But next category, we would say chops, starring the best. The dude who had the best chops went in my. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a puppy, bro. That's a puppy.
I know. She's a star of the show, man. This is
she's
Princess Leia.
Yeah, I could do that. Right, my mom has like 5. We used to have 5 dogs. I'm like, hypoallergenic. I'm good. But Doug Infinite was the illest person on the chops, the most slept on person with the chops. Loops. I'm gonna say the two people. Buck Wild with the loops. Yeah. Buck Wild had the best loops, and I miss records that you could memorize the melody. Like FT's like doo doo doo.
Oh my god.
Problems. Yeah, all of them. Or like, don't trust anyone. Don't trust. How many songs?
If you think about Buck Wild, shit, it's got a story to tell. But he told us how he had to re-record that record because the sample.
I have it. I have the original version that he did.
Are you fucking kidding?
I digitized it. Do you want to? Hey. I could send the private video link because I digitized a handful of the beat tapes. And bro.
And
the Biggie story
might be the greatest show ever.
the Biggie story to tell before he had to replay it. I got it.
Yo.
And multiple people rapped on it too and passed on it. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Nature rapped on it. Never finished the record. And Foxy Brown rapped on it.
Damn.
Right? Yeah, there's a couple people that had that beat. That was one of his more popular beats on his beat tape. For sure.
God damn.
Crazy, right?
So speak about that, man. Like the evolution of the beat tape. Like you've been a part of that. As you mentioned, you've been in a room with some of our heroes, man, but you were getting the beat tapes, these beat CDs. Any of them really ring a bell? Are there any joints in those beat tapes that became like crazy, like anthems or just crazy records, or were there, or on the flip side, was there a lot of mid going on?
There was a lot of favorite album cuts going on, right? Like, because Buck Wild, you make your favorite remix or album cut, right? Now, the remixes were typically more customized.
I see what you did there, Matt, by the way. Sure. You see that react? I said, my question was, I said, was there a lot of mid? Was there any mid joints in there like, oof? Quick.
Listen, I'm slightly politically correct, but like, I'm going to say like this. You have to search through a lot of rough before you find your diamond in anything.
That's a fact.
Right? Whether it be your wife, your girlfriend, or a beat. Yeah. It's all the same difference.
I got a million mid ass beats.
But Easy LP
had a brothel. Okay, like he had the most Easy LP had the most consistent beat tapes. Him and Buck Wild, I would say, like neck and neck. Like LP though, it was hard to pick beats from him. It was just so many good ones to pick from.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, he was LP. I'm telling you, and he would go straight from the machine to the tape. And the sequences that I have are customized.
That sounds like somebody react.
Sounds like you.
Yeah.
Straight from the machine, bro.
Still.
And I'm telling you, there's so many though. Sean J. Period. See, what I loved was the friendships that I had with these guys. It made it so that like me and Sean would just make music with Mos Def, and Mos Def would be on the Fender Rhodes, and Sean would be making the music, and it was just a lot of fun.
Just a great guy too. Sean J. Period was our first.
It was our very first interview.
Our very first interview, man. And
he's one of my favorite people on the planet.
Oh man, I've heard that a million times about him. So that speaks volumes to
I know a lot of people,
who he really is, man. Like for real. Like the story that React, he gave us the story that he gave Just Blaze or was it reverse? Did he give Just Blaze all his records?
Who do you think connected it? Who do you think connected
it? Oh, yeah. Word?
What's up? Ask Sean and Just. I said, I connected Sean with Just. And he gave him the records.
That's crazy. See,
so I'm
what I mean? Like,
responsible for a lot of Just Blaze smash records, which came from Sean. No, I mean, listen, Just always looked out. We looked out for each other, right? Like, Just would go ahead, and he was the should I wait? Oh, there we go.
Nah, you're good.
So Just was the assistant engineer and assistant manager at the cutting room. Right?
He actually did a session of ours, the Godsons. I know it to be true. Fact. He did that session. Yeah.
So this is the deal. So what's crazy is Mike Zoot wanted to do this beat from Sha Self.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it.
Sha Money, people. Sha Money.
Sha Money XL. Yes. Right. I didn't want to do it at first because we had enough records for this particular single. I said, all right, Mike, let's do it. And in the session, who was our assistant engineer? Pat Viala was our engineer.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then, so shout out to Pat. And Just Blaze was the assistant, and we needed scratches on the record. So I'm literally like watching Just Blaze scratching on a record produced by Sha Money XL. And at the time, it was just DJ Just and Sha Self, right? But the point is that Just Blaze, I mean, he did a lot of amazing music that no one's heard. Like, like he's just so ill. He's so ill. I don't even know where
it's really dope that. No, that's cool. That's really dope that Sean, we're talking about Sean, and he gave him the records, man. Like, I couldn't believe it. He's like, yeah, I gave him just all my records. He was like, yeah. I'm like, what?
Dude, Sean changed his life and he stopped sampling, right? And but when he was in his Chop days, right, he was ill, and he was doing it in ways that weren't typical, right? You might have even loved it or hated it, but they would definitely have their own sound. Like when you heard a Sean J beat, you knew it was Sean J.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I told her, I was kind of mad, and I'll be brief. Like, I told him, I was like, man, like, because we all know who's coming up, and Spinner was one of them that I kept my ear on. And there's Sean J. Period. I got the record like Universal Magnetic, and I was like, who the fuck did this beat? I'm like, who's this fucking Sean J. Period, motherfucker?
I was supposed to put that record out.
Yo, that record crazy.
Me and Mos Def were in my mom's truck, I remember, and 88 Keys. We were listening to an 88 Keys beat tape.
You see that, right? Man? How easy that was just to,
Because we're all kids. We're all kids coming up at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? So some people stopped doing it, and some people became, whoever.
Yeah.
But Mos was like, I love this, he had the same voice as Q-Tip, right? So he's like, I love this, 88 tape. But while we were there, he was like, yo, Matt, I want you to put out Universal Magnetic. This is pre-Raucous. I'm like, damn, I'm 18. I have a bunk bed, bro. I had a bunk bed.
He's like, how am I going to pull this one off?
Dude, I had a little bit of money saved from the Mike Zoot record. I had a bunk bed in the room. I had
My sports, I'm literally just a kid.
18.
And I was like, but you know what I would have done? I'd have faked it till I made it. If I knew what I knew now, I'd have figured it out.
Yeah.
Right? But it wasn't meant. I mean, Rawkus, that's the whole thing people don't understand about Rawkus back then. They had Rupert Murdoch money. Okay? They didn't have bunk beds. Yeah. They had millions of dollars. So when we're trying to compete with our records and they're both on the shelf at Fat Beats, it's like, oh yeah, you know the times of Rawkus and True Criminal and Guesswhyld. I was like, bro, True Criminal and Guesswhyld? I was like, what are we talking? I was like, we're shoestring budgets. Yeah. What are we talking about? Yeah. You know, we didn't do video.
But truth be told, True Criminal came up with that new cinema money.
Oh, that was that was okay. That was like that was like Rawkus is already kind of moving, and Black Star is out, and then F obviously signed to Stretch, and and then he had another deal, and so he had 2 deals. Everybody had that's the only thing I wish that Mike Zoot would have got was a chance at a major label deal. But the issue with the artists back then, they weren't great at hooks. That wasn't their thing. It was like, oh yeah, you're trying to be commercial. I remember Mr. Walt. Walt's my guy, right?
Yeah, I love Mr. Walt.
We're in D&D, and he had the multi-track up on this record, and I turned the hi-hat up, right? And Walt's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, bro, I'm trying to give it some swing here. It's his beat, right? So I'm like fucking with his beat. And I turned it up a little. He was like, what do you want, some Diddy shit? Right? He said, get that hi-hat down. Tuck that hi-hat. Tuck the hi-hat. And I'm like, all right.
Sounds like Walt too.
I'm gonna tuck the hi-hat. We're gonna keep it real. All right. Right?
Oh man.
Yo, they frowned upon not just Walt. I mean, Fat Beats did it. Everybody would frown upon anything that sounded like it would sell. Right? Yeah. Like if this is something that can make me a lot of money and get me out of a bunk bed, it wasn't keeping it real in hip hop. Okay, I'm just gonna state the facts.
Hey, and as producers too, man. We, coming out of sampling, man, because I came out of sampling. I know you can relate to this too as well. That they started taxing dudes that were sampling records. Yeah. So we had to get on our keyboard game, and that's where I feel like like a lot of guys came out of, they rised up out of that, like the Neptunes. You know what I'm saying? They were like, aha. And truth be told, got to give it up to Swizz Beatz. He did do it smart, and he did not sample records at all. Like if he did, it was just like a little something. But that's why, like when you said that he had shit, his music was all over. Was it
Wolverine and Deadpool Wolverine?
Can you imagine how that check is going, bruh?
What?
All that original music.
What?
I said that last episode. Like, man, that was genius. But that was a tough period for me. I don't know about you or having to get. Did you have to go through that? Like when you're putting out a record, that they couldn't use a sample as far as clearance samples. How'd you deal with that?
We didn't. We didn't. Oh, what? I put out a record in 97.
Chase me down.
Dude, Lace the Boom's record called M1. We sampled David Bowie right before Mason Puff did it. Right? We put that shit out there because they didn't have bots back then or whatever to pick up the sound and go, oh, wait, copyright infringement. No, like people had to literally go out and search for your record. And they're not listening to Stretch and Bob because there's not enough money there to sue you. Right? Yeah. So they're like, because they got to pay their lawyers. They add up the costs. Like, because I would deal with lawyers and they would say, if it's not making X amount, they're not going to bother you. Right? Until you're DJ Premier.
Okay.
And until you're sampling Chuck D's voice on the 10 Crack Commandments. Yeah. And then you're going 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
And then
I'm glad you said that because, man, you just gave a little gem to some of the guys who I spoke to, my DM, stuff like that. Like when I release a beat tape and I'm just using a record like, yo, they literally had to come knock on my door and be like, yo, because you could send an email like, I don't see that whatever. But you're going to have to come knock on my door to use a record because I know, but some of these beat tapes, I was like, sample on. They're not coming to get you. Especially if you're putting out, beat tapes or independent records. You know, I don't.
Now is different though. I don't know. Now I'll tell you why. Now is a little different sometimes because the technology to be able to pick up the sample, it's not even personal. It's not a human. It's literally just hearing the music, finding it, and basically they can mute you on YouTube with the copyright. There's if you get lucky and slide through, great. But Kumba, we cleared samples. Like
Word.
Yeah, like I had the Marley Marl one. I'll tell you that story in a second.
Okay.
But that was like Lou Donaldson, Potbelly, and we had we sampled.
Rest in peace, Lou Donaldson, who just passed away last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
We literally cleared
the great Roy Haynes, drummer. Yeah,
I saw that.
We just lost some heavyweights. Lou Donaldson. You kidding me?
Speaking of Kumbaya, I really want to play this record because I'm itching to hear it, and I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it either, man. This is go ahead, react.
No, I'm sorry. I almost had a cough attack.
No.
Hang in there, bro. Hang in there.
We got an exclusive, a chop shop.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah. But Matt, why don't you lay it up? Tell us what it is.
So Kumbaya's EP, we only had 2 features, and one of them was Havoc. Right. And speaking of which, the sample part, that happened with the original beat for that record, right? Is that there was loops that were used by guys who have major drum packs and loops and whatever. They had these disclaimers.
Yeah, I see.
Right? And the amount of publishing that they wanted, I don't remember. I won't even shout out the guy who made the pack. Right? It's one of the big ones. Right. Yeah. But the disclaimer was big time amount of publishing and an advance, almost as if he were, and producer credit, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you had to give, and I was like, bro, I'm not spending that on. I said, you know what? I'm sorry. I told the guy who did it, Invisible Hands. I said, I'm sorry, but I was like, I gotta focus on knock this out, and I had a deadline too to hand this stuff in. So I said, Focus is gonna knock this out in about 8 seconds. I called up.
Shout to Focus, man. The good brother. Yeah.
He did. I love the Sean J. Period and Focus are like 2 amazing human beings, right? Let me just give them the awards.
From amazing. The salt of the earth, I'm telling you,
selfless. I mean, I'll talk about Focus for hours and Sean for hours. Yeah. And I have to stop interrupting myself at my age because I keep forgetting what I'm saying. But anyway,
Focus. How Focus? You got the record to Focus.
Yo, he did 2 beats for this song. They were so dope, both of them. We didn't know which one to pick. What does Focus do? Focus and Rock Wild are on a Zoom together, and Focus goes ahead and they come up with the idea to make them both on the same record. So you're gonna hear on this song 2 beats on one song that they haven't done that in people don't do that like the way they used to do it.
Wait, so it's Rock and.
No, it's Rock was helping him. He was like, yo, because Rock was helping music supervise the project.
Yeah.
So he was like, yo, let me hear the beats, Focus play. He's like, bro, put them both on the song.
That sounds like right.
And he was going nuts. And Focus put them both on the record, and that's that. And
the great Focus, man. Woo, ...
Sound without Focus.
It's just noise, man. Yeah. Hey, run the joint. So it's Kumbaya.
Oh, go ahead.
No, that's the wrong record.
It's called More and More.
Yeah, More and More.
That's Siege Monstrosity. Could we shout out
that
Siege
record too next?
Could we shout out
Siege? Oh, Siege. 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 We've been trying to get Siege at the show. It's been set up. There have been concrete dates, and then something that either happened with myself or something.
Life.
Life be life.
A lot of life. Life be life, and bro.
Shouts to Siege. He gonna be on the show.
Siege could rap too. He's another producer who could rap.
Ill with it.
He's ill.
This is Kumbaya featuring the great Havoc, Mobb Deep, produced by Focus. ...
Frontal assault is tepid the hot.
Oh wait, man! Stop!
Turn that shit up.
Stop! Turn that shit up. React.
Turn that shit up.
That's the first thing I want to say right there, man. ...
Frontal assault is tepid the hot. I'm from New York, even get good or forgot. 2 arm, 2 leg, a foot, took us 7 to watch. Shook in the boogie, look, we been bending robot. A flick of the wrist is buckets, we booing you mop. Knuckle sway your weight about invented the wop. Jury see the bushiness, could tell you it's the thoughts. Chickens by the slit with them licking they chops. A fine city, a dog on my glizzy. Before you get in the cab, it come out the 950. Tell how far your bag is. It Goliath always with these. Soup you do goulash after the 99 you 69. Shine down slippery. All my gifts with me. Santa don't have a chimney, less the house out of Poughkeepsie. I don't care about what he would give me to keep busy. I'm sending for city blocks. We built to give us the guap. We got more and more, bigger, more and more, bigger, more and more, quicker, slicker and slicker and more and more. Trigger to show no signal before we go in and get it. Who wanna go in with us? More and more, bigger, more and more, bigger, more and more, quicker, slicker and slicker and more and more. Trigger to show no signal.
My God.
Here we go.
Who wanna go in with us?
Fuck what you thought, nigga, I'm cream of the crop. I'm from New York, either you shoot or get shot. Anything money, nigga, we licking our chops. Let us in, my nigga, or we just picking the locks. If it ain't Mobb Deep, then I'm picking the locks. Only street shit getting played up in my box. I don't just sample shit, you know it get chopped. For you to figure out 20 years later or not. This a Kumbaya moment.
Oh my God. Are you
Isn't it fitting?
Yo, show's over, man.
It's all about the chop. Who puts the word chop in a verse? It's always fitting.
I haven't.
You said the beat switched up?
No, the beat didn't switch.
Yeah.
The beat didn't switch yet. But I haven't heard Havoc rap.
Me either.
In a very long time like this. So that was a breath of fresh air.
Rewind.
Yeah.
With us.
Fuck what you thought, nigga, I'm cream of the crop. I'm from New York, either you shoot or get shot. Anything money, nigga, we licking our chops. Let us in, my nigga, or we just picking the locks. If it ain't Mobb Deep, then I'm picking the locks. Only street shit getting played up in my box. I don't just sample shit, you know it get chopped. For you to figure out 20 years later or not. It's a Kumbaya moment. Front on us, you gonna die with your eyes open. Barrel in his face, get a nigga mind focused. And disappear like I just said, hocus pocus. Rap at its highest level, the title held several. Cannot be fucked with, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The ice you tucked it, cause you know that we would dead you. Just keep it to yourself, I am not the one to step to.
Oh my.
Here it comes.
Quicker, slicker and slicker and more. Trigger to show no signal before we go in and get it. Who wanna go in with us? More and more, bigger, more and more, bigger, more and more, quicker, slicker and slicker and more. Trigger to show no signal before we go in and get it. Who wanna go in with us? I got a Caribbean B&B on gorgeous. A doctor to live and give you in your jaundice. My boy can't be coy, he don't know what no pond is. Surgical spitter from Lil till embalmment. You need to be a B, agree to be with me often. Next to blow, I left from epinephrine to soften it.
My God.
In bags of bag, get him up off of me. Toss him in the back of that 4x4 forcefully. Why is you grimacing Gilligan? Get off my membership, I'm ill again, and you can feel it. The hill of an elephant, benefit for even the jealous and repel malevolence. Not competitive with incompetent men in the lesser than cement is heavy lifting. My chest press if you listen, you witness demolition. It pulled you from
oh my God, Kumba.
Every wizard was Dior before the Christian. I vow when you become distant and get more and more, bigger, more and more, bigger, more and more, quicker, slicker and slicker and more. Trigger to show no signal before we go in and get it. Who wanna go in with us? More and more, bigger, more and more, bigger, more and more, quicker, slicker and slicker and more. Trigger to show no signal before we go in and get it. Who wanna go in with us? Yeah, 718. 212, 646, 929, yeah, 347, 845, 917. What's the rest of them? Yeah.
That's that.
Hey. Oh my God, yo, what just happened, man?
I don't know.
Literally, man.
Hip hop.
Yes, man. Like the ill exclusive, man. Matt Fingaz, man.
That was
I
fucking.
mean, thank you, bro. Like, yo, Kumbaya.
Oh, thank you.
Kumba. I mean, Kumba.
What?
Oh man, just
Focus too, man. Jesus Christ.
Yo, my God.
Focus.
Oh my God.
Dude, wait till you hear the Marley Marl joint. Wait till you hear the other joints on this EP.
When's the project coming out?
Well, this is the whole thing. I'll give you a little backstory. So she was on Def Jam, right? The release date was April 24th. Then the merger happened. where you heard about all the layoffs at UMG, and about 1,000 people got laid off, and companies got merged, and it was a numbers crunch. It was like, how much do we spend? How much do we make? And she was a new artist, so she kind of caught the brunt of what was happening, and it was not personal to the music because the people that knew the music were gone. They got let go of, all of them, right?
Man.
So I was like, all right, well, I've got to pivot. Kumba had to pivot and figure out life stuff. And I was like, I had to figure out a new outlet for it. So I'm actually almost at the finish line finding a new home. But it's taken some time because the music business changed really quickly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we didn't want to just throw it out. You don't do records with Organized Noise and these type of records and just throw them on iTunes. Like, oh, let's just throw it out with no promotion or marketing, nothing. Yeah. You know, so so I had to pivot, and it was a lot to have to go ahead and deal with that. It's Kumba more so because it was like life really started hitting everybody.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. Yeah. So it was more than just release dates and you know.
I mean, it's gotta. I know, it's gotta be tough on any artist, man. To not for sort of have the rug, yanked from under you. But I'm telling you right now, I mean, we heard the hold on joint that Kumba had. Kumba's one of the illest. I'm just gonna put it out there, man. She's special. She's different. She got different chambers. I mean, actually, how'd you guys even meet? Is the question.
Through Kelsey and Sean J. Perry. So
okay.
All right. So when I was doing it, all connects back. So when I was doing those sessions at Mercy Sound with Cuss, Sean's my guy. So Sean brings his protege Kelsey with him.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kelsey's in there sponging everything, blah blah blah. And during the pandemic, mind you, man, I was checked out.
Wills too, right? Maybe Wills.
No, at the time, no, I didn't know him.
Oh, okay.
I knew Sean and Kelsey.
All right. Okay.
So what happened was during the pandemic, I was doing tech stuff. My head was not music business.
Yeah.
Right. I actually was 2 feet out. Yeah. And Kelsey would send me these songs. He'd send not these joints, but like he'd send me like before Hold On. Yeah. Before there was a Hold On.
Yeah.
And he keeps sending them, and I'm like, she's dope, but I didn't. Let me be blunt. I didn't give a shit. Right. Because it wasn't about Kumbaya or anyone else. I just didn't want to deal with artists. Yep. Right.
Yep.
So what happened was they put out the Hold On snippet. It was like a snippet video where she's like walking down the alley from the music video and whatever
with the homie.
And Stat Quo calls me, and Stat's like, yo, Matt, who is this Kumbaya? Because he saw that we follow each other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're all, friends in that circle. Right.
Yes, sir.
And I said, oh, that's the homie. Right. And he's like, yo, do you want to do this together? Like executive produce this together. He said, I have an imprint over at Def Jam, and I could put some money behind this. I said, wait, hold up. I get to do something I actually want to listen to, and I get to make money with my friends.
Yeah.
And we get to go through a major, and I get to execute. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Siege was in there. We were at, we flew out to LA, and we were in the studio at Chalice Studios in LA.
Yeah.
And it was Kelsey flew out, Kumba, Stat, and a couple.
I remember seeing on Instagram they give a couple couple nuggets.
Oh yeah. We taped a little bit. We got a little video footage of that. Yeah. Game came through. He was in the sessions. Oh, Hit Boy came through. Yeah. Right. Hit Boy was loving Kumba. And we flew back, and we've been working since. There's just time off now because of the pivot, right? So it's like get life is more important. Like how you're living, how you're taking care of yourself. You got thrown a huge curveball, and then me, being in it so many years, it was just like another Tuesday for me. I was like, here we go.
Yeah, I think. I mean, we don't go by quarters or anything like that, but it would be a really great thing if you can release that. technically in the fourth quarter.
It's coming.
Christmas,
it's coming.
Hanukkah presents. I mean,
you're talking about now? You want me to give you a Hanukkah present right now?
I mean, no, man. I'm just about like to the people, man. Just one of those records. I mean, the record you just played was. I mean, that was my first listen. By the way, I didn't listen to it.
Yeah. You know what I really want to play you now?
What's that?
Now you're making me want to play you the Marley record.
Oh God, please. Hey, look. Yo, this is a real chop shop moment.
No,
right?
Because I get it. I'm dad. Look, good dad gang, bro. Good dad gang. Shout out to Terminology.
Yeah, React is
that's what it's about. He's helping his kids out, cleaning sinks with plates and whatever.
Coughing at the same time. Oh my God,
coughing up a lung.
DJ React.
Good. Look at the little kid in the corner in the picture. Come on, bro. I got it right here. Okay. This is all daddy pictures over here, bro.
Shouts to my boys, man. I got seniors and seniors, Justin and Jordan, man. Super proud. Both
I'm gonna do you guys. You guys got me inspired. I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt.
He said he might give us another.
I'm gonna let me do that.
What are you? Okay, Matt, we might have to do a part 2, bro.
Yeah.
We might. But I'm just gonna say
Matt's one of those guys, like I said, like shoes, man. Gold, golden
ears.
Golden ears, like 6 degrees of every all things dope. You know what I'm saying? He's seen you another one, man.
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Don't even tell me what it is. Don't even tell me what it is.
No, I'm gonna send it to you right now.
Yeah, send it to me, and then I'm just gonna.
Here we go. Just I'm gonna let you know Marley is not only on the beat, but you'll hear him on the record too.
Is he old man Marley?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I told you what to try.
All right, here we go. I'm sending to you right now,
baby.
Sent.
Oh man, yo, this has been great. We're definitely got to do a part 2 with Matt Fingaz, bro.
I'm with it, bro.
Man,
I'm with it.
Yeah,
do this now.
Kids are bugging right now, man. I'm sorry.
Both of them?
No. Listen, we're all daddies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't have my kid right. I pick him up tomorrow, so I'll be in daddy mode at about 3:00 when the school bell rings to
Trust
Monday.
Me, it doesn't get any better. The motherfuckers is like, you just wait till video games come about. Daddy, like Robux and shit. I need some Robux money.
Oh yeah, my daughter's all about that.
Right.
Mine is not old enough yet. He's 5 and 8. All he does is, "Daddy, iPad, please."
Yeah, and then you're gonna see the iTunes charges.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So Matt, you spoke about this record already?
You know what I'm gonna do? Do you want me to tell this backstory of it first or after?
Quick backstory.
Quick backstory.
Quick backstory about the record first.
All right. It was all right. So Steve Lobel was managing Marley. He's like, "Yo, we need to get Marley on the what's it called? On the EP." I said, "Say no more." We take her to Spring Valley. Marley's got a couple joints. He pulls up the Lou Donaldson drums, right? I'm like, she's vibing now. Right. And I'm like, and all of a sudden in my head, I'm hearing, go ahead. Jiggling Baby remix. I'm hearing, go ahead. And then all of a sudden, Marley looks at me and goes, go ahead. I said, go ahead, baby. Right. I said, Marley, you got the vocal stem from LL? He said, yep.
Oh, shit.
Yo, he pulls it up. He takes the vocal stem, puts it in Serato, chops it, cuts it back into the record, right? Then my mind is going. I'm a kid in a candy store at this point. Yeah. I said, all I'm hearing is bam, bam, bam. I'm hearing Set It Off, Kane. I said, you have that guitar? I said, this is what I'm hearing. I said, bam, 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 bam. Go ahead, baby. So now I'm trying to create like this hybrid LL, Big Daddy Kane, Lou Donaldson thing, right? Yeah. So he's like, yep, I got it. Chops up the guitar, right? Shout out to Focus who replayed some of the things I needed replayed.
Oh, fucking
right?
A.
So,
excuse my language, bro. I'm sorry, bro, but are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. Then she does the song on the spot, right? Then I send it to Jason Harold and the Carvin Hagen. I had a bunch of people work on this record.
You said Carvin?
Like Carvin Haggins is and his team were doing the what's it called? Yow, right? Big Yow. He did the organ on the record. Then Jason Harold did the bass and the keys on the hook. And then Focus replayed the guitar. So I had like 6. I did some Kanye shit with Marley. Then Domingo comes through and helps do the break where Marley does the vocals. And then DJ Redmatic did the cuts. Right?
Shouts to Redmatic.
Salute to Redmatic. Yo, he Chop Shop alum. Yeah.
And you know what I said? I said, honestly, I blacked out in the session where I just forgot that was Marley and just was like, it was just another session.
Yeah.
And I took a step back. I said, bro, you just went ahead and just collaborated with Marley Marl. And you basically, I took over the room. Like I was telling Marley's just following my lead at that point, which was crazy, right? Because it's fucking Marley Marl, right?
Yeah.
But Marley was such a trooper. He's so seasoned. He was with all this creative energy. And he said it too. It's been a while since he was inspired, right? So, and I played it for Ray Murray. And I said, Ray, I don't know what type of record this is. Like, he's like, it's a cultural staple. He said, it's not a hit single. It's not an album. It's just a cultural staple for her in hip hop.
Good Lord.
And now, and I swear to you, see the other one, Static Selector played it on his show. This one, no one's heard this shit.
Kumbaya. What's the name of the joint?
It's called Set It Off.
Produced by Marley Marl.
Yep.
Not stagnant, carry chariot from a pumpkin. Dag nabbit, that backstabbing to get your bubkis. Stop chatting, a chicken nugget to get this nothing. In Manhattan, have to be capping and keep the buzzing. The crumbs crumping, destiny for every child. We jumping. Let it be my energy now, compile to something. Met a decent set of people out in Dublin. Out in public with a rebound, I'm now in love with. Muggers giving Muppet, I'm with it, my Nick would of it. Show the budget, Mind if I delete the bubonic and solid killers. Private, I believe you lopsided behind the pillar. Finalize the detail, each house is about the Miller. When come I could go folder and not Manila. Knock the box into next October, it's now December. I remember she was just scanning me from the timber. Landed on the plane, they attacking the jack be nimble. Past the gimbal, the vision behind me like the symbol. What's that sizzle? It's the yeah, you said it all.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the give me some more. Go ahead. It's the
Hey, world, premiere. Hey, world, premiere.
Baby.
Hottest topic, my cheese be in the hottest pocket. Read the docket, I'm old, more than half of what I get. Not an option and not a profit and not to stop it. Look who got this, spiel Glock and the pop obnoxious. I'm on offense, hot heads inventing nonsense. I spent time spent, relevate, develop consciousness that I spend. My sidekick is psychic, writing in my Mike Tyson. You bite, I bite you in here, we under like I ripen. You believe me if you so how seedier the night spin. Pasteurized greenery, we not beefing with these bison. Liking it, no one not done exhausted all the typists. On a hunch, my touch Midas. My bop socking, I got Molly, the party hopping. It's hardly stopping, we hot as fever cause we keep on rocking.
Keep on rocking to keep rocking to keep.
Oh my God.
You said it all.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's the give me some more.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's the said it all. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I said it all.
Baby. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead,
Yo. What just happened?
Where are you from?
What just happened?
I don't know.
Yo, Kumbaya is coming for everybody. I'm not talking, this ain't no female MC shit.
We're gender neutral battlers. We're like,
she said, I think she said, I got cheese for these hot pockets. I peeped that. But her bar, just her cadence and the production is just like, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
I mean,
crazy,
man.
It's like
what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Just let go one record, man, for the new year. I mean, man.
No, it's coming. It's coming. It won't come 2024, but it'll come 2025. Right, okay. Like top of the year, we'll start hearing some of these joints. It's really like I said,
that Havoc verse got me sick, bro.
Even sicker than you were already.
Yeah.
But crazily, how fitting was that? I mean, like, literally one of the greatest drum beats ever, Pot Belly by Lou Downs, who just passed, man, and you play this, man, and you can't go wrong. That's what I'm saying, man. I was thinking the other day, man, like about like the breaks that we used to use. I mean, there's still different ways to chop those joints. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, sure.
Like, man, and it felt like Pot Belly, but there was so many other elements in that record. And I heard what you was talking about with the Prynce from Set It Off. I was like, oof. Man,
you know what it was too is I mean, Tribe Called Quest had a version that totally sounds different than that, the Pot Belly joints.
Oh, and yeah.
It was such a it is kind of surreal. I did not know Lou Donaldson passed.
Yes, just passed.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was like it's very surreal to do these songs and with producers and rappers that aren't here. Like a lot of songs I had, like Sean Price, Prodigy, ODB, just gone.
Yes.
So it's such a blessing. Rico Wade, God bless him. So it's really such a blessing to just take in the moments that it's not always about record sales, or it's not always about what everybody looks at is what success is. I think success is living a journey as well, life, right? Connecting with people and befriending them and learning from them and growing from them. Whether it's maybe the nondescript guy in the corner, you don't even know who he is, to the superstar producer. It's a beautiful thing. I'm so grateful not to have I feel like I'm like, kumbaya, no pun intended. Right. But just having friends from all across the world is such a cool thing, like Norway and Germany and Japan and LA and Atlanta. Like if you had a regular, not to knock people, listen, do what you got to do. But I feel like if I just stayed in a bubble in New York, I would never experience any of these places or people, And it's like, it's just an amazing thing. And hip hop is hard to focus in on what you're grateful for, because it's like the money is feast or famine sometimes. It's like, I'm doing really well, or I'm broke.
That is such a gem right there, man. That it is what it is. I mean, no pun intended. Like it's bad.
It's bad. It's hard. It's harsh.
Yeah.
And but I learned over a lot of years to like, it's important to have that smile, like a real smile, going through the pain. I don't. My homegirl said to me, I'm tired of all these fake smiles on social media. I said, I'm smiling. My smile is real. I'm just in a lot of pain, because especially, you have kids and you want to provide for them a certain way. And sometimes music, just when you feel settled into how you're going to make a living with it, technology changes it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yo, this is in React. This is a gem to the chop shop for any aspiring producers and artists, man. Like what Matt's saying right now, man. It rings in, because it's saying for the older guy like myself, it's never too late to create. And then for younger guys that you're gonna have to persevere, because there are gonna be some times where it's gonna check you, and you better have some tough skin, or it just may not be for you. And I've gone through that, and React's gone through it.
All of us.
You know, as at all aspects. We're talking, you know, just production, DJing, even real life, man. It's a real life thing, man. And I mean, damn, like what you're just saying that rings in, because and these younger producers need to listen to this, man, and artists, man. Like, yo, it may not go your way. It actually is not going to go your way.
Yeah.
Chances are extremely high.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't heard those sort of lucky stories in a long time. Like, hey, I just rapped for so-and-so in the street and I got a deal off of a hook. And I got millions of... Like, you have to go Tony Robbins, let me just shout out Tony Robbins, because I would go to Tony Robbins seminars, and he said it used to be good effort would give you good results. Good effort would get you even great results. Now, good effort could get you poor results. Good effort probably won't get you good results. You have to have great effort to get you even good results.
That's right.
And you have to get great results, you have to be outstanding. Yeah. The only thing they said was there's not that much of a difference between outstanding and great.
Yeah.
That people just have to push a little bit more to get there. And that's what some of these records are for me, is going, you know what? Some people will probably just stop it. Hey, focus. Don't worry about the second beat. Yeah. Like, let's just stick with the one and we're good. We're just like, you know what I mean? And just push the envelope a little. And Marley, same thing. We could have just went with Marley's 8. Marley had an 808 hooked up to that beat.
Yeah.
And we could have just left it at the pop belly drums with the 808.
I heard the 808. Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going, nah, bro, let's see if we can push it in. Because to compete, it's like, I don't want to be in the pack of people just getting by. Yeah. Getting by is so hard, you know? And just last thing I want to say, as far as the producers, the young producers, I'm big on paying it forward with information. But it's like when they show off these, like I go on the Overlord show and they have these dudes
chopping Overlord up. Radio, which just came on. Yep.
Shout out to Overlord and Kelsey.
We love them.
These producers who are like taking samples like Michael Jackson and chopping up Barbra Streisand with a little bit of James Brown. It's like, that's a $500,000 sample clearance, right? So it's like, but it's ill. And I go, do you know, even if we replay this shit, I said, do you know what we're gonna have to pay on publishing?
Yeah.
I was like, so I would say, like, and you mentioned Pharrell and you mentioned Swizz, where it's like not only are they doing original music, but they're adding hooks and verses. So
I'll give you somebody that's a newer producer right now. And he's a Chop Shop alum. Soundtrack.
Amazing.
He's very amazing. I mean, outerworldly. You know, one of those guys. You know, I feel like, you know, I was there for his his real maturation. Like he was doing the flips, the big flips, right? And that's when he became, you know, he's always been Soundtrack, but I feel like that's when he really became Soundtrack. And then people were expecting him. I figured it out because even I, at one point, I'm guilty of it. I'm like, man, you know, some of the new music is, you know, is fucking dope. I mean, but we were expecting the the big flip, and I remember him having a conversation with him, and he was like, you know, like, man, like, you know, I got to break out of this, and he said that to me. I'm gonna break out of this big sampling joints and flipping records. He said I need to be doing, you know, flipping samples. He said, you know, I got to make records. And that's what we're getting now, and all the stuff that he's playing now, like lately on his IG, you know, I get it now. Like when's it gonna end? You know what I'm saying? Or
which part?
Or are these producers doing it for sport? I'm asking that question, not to you guys, but I'm saying this to these producers now. What are you gonna do with it? Because somewhere along the line, you got to clear not even clear samples. I'm just coming up for somebody to even rhyme on it. What are their aspirations? Maybe it's about doing beat tapes, and that's fine. You know, doing the crazy flips. You know, we know a god of a guy who can do that and then turn around and do a song. His name is Vitamin D. Vitamin D is one of the illest ever. You know, and everything he's put out are the most ridiculous greatest flips ever, but he also understands that he can do records too. And that's my question to these producers now. Like, it's cool and everything, you know. If you want to put out an instrumental album and do whatever you want to do, but I feel like some of them really want to get into this game and make records with some of these people. So how do you feel about that? Because there's just an overflow of producers. How do you sift through all of that to find the guys that you want?
I ask, are you, same thing what you're saying, are you a beat exhibitionist? If you are, that's fine. Most of them don't even leave room for the artist to write on it. It's doing so much, you know. But then you look at the guys like you were saying, Soundtrack does some great co-productions also, where he's doing the element of chopping and Jake One comes in. Or I heard he played me some joints with Jake One that are crazy, right?
Another Chop Shop alum, yeah.
Siege and Soundtrack did a record collaboratively for Kumba, right? Mm-hmm. Really good, but this is how I feel. Like, they don't understand the importance of publishing because they probably have never reaped the rewards of publishing, right? Mm-hmm. So it's off the radar. But that's why Soundtrack sees it, because when Soundtrack starts standing next to his favorite producers and he hears the horror stories, right? Yeah. 88 Keys, good example, bro. 88 Keys, No Church in the Wild, right? Mm-hmm. You got the loop. They added James Brown, and they added some other bridge music by Kanye, and then Dreams on there, and then Frank Ocean. And by the time it's done, he's got 3% of the record, right? Now, granted, the licensing was great because it was in a lot of movies. Yeah. But the reason why certain people don't get past the point of certain wealth, right, is that here's Pharrell with Happy, right? No samples, wrote the whole song and performed it, and has 100% of Happy, right? Yeah. Which smashes everybody's catalog.
Everything.
Combined. Right? And you start going, well, if you might go, well, this one's not keeping it real. And this one, listen, do your beat exhibition. I'll just say it. Do your beat exhibition. I flip Michael Jackson shit. Like, I'm shout out to like Tyven and Kelsey did a great record for Kumba. Yeah. And it was sampling DeBarge and some other James Brown. Right? Yeah. We could never find time to get to it because we knew how much it was going to cost to clear it. Yeah. Right? Even if you replay it, it's too crazy for a new artist with a new budget. Yeah. So I'm like, save those records for when you are performing at one of the beat functions. Yeah. And please focus in on what's going to change your life when it comes to and I think you could still keep it authentic. Yeah. You can still keep it you. Like
you what Soundtrack does. He giving these younger producers, and basically like you're saying like, all right, guys, and do you really want to be in this game for a minute?
I'll tell you what, like, you know what it reminds me of?
What's
as
that?
Being a DJ for 20-something years. Yeah. It reminds me of coming up and doing the DMCs and scratching.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could be an exhibitionist, right? Or a super dope fucking talented DJ. Yeah. On one side. Yeah. But you get up in front of a room of 400 or 500 people and you don't know what the fuck to do and you're just standing there scratching. It's cool. It's great that you could do that. Like, it's the same thing with chopping. It's like, that's dope. Like it's super dope. You're showing off. Mm-hmm. We get it. We know you get it. You know how to work the equipment. It sounds fucking crazy. Yeah. But where's the paper? It's like,
But I mean, is it really about the paper, or are these guys are just are they really trying to capitalize on it, or I don't know.
I mean, I think that a lot of people don't. At the end of the day, everybody wants the paper, bro. That's just my opinion. I mean, and that's why, when I first started DJing, it was, I realized that there was no money in the battle and shit, and scratching and all that stuff. And I had to change my tune a little bit, so I could start doing parties and all that other stuff. So
to piggyback what you're saying, I asked Just Blaze that same question that Eddie posed, right, years ago, and he said, I'd rather have 10% of a Jay-Z record where I sample, right, let's say PSA, right, than 100% of somebody that has no samples, but it doesn't move the needle. Right. Mm-hmm. So in those cases, you get it. You're like, you don't want Just Blaze to replay PSA. You want boom, 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 boom. Pay for that. Right. Because it's worth it. But they have to understand too.
The guys in that group were probably like, dude, a fucking record. They're probably old. And a fucking record, mate.
All the guys who did the original sample.
Did the original, like, oh, you fucking PSA, mate.
What it probably changed their lives. I mean, I'm just big on like, hey, like, okay, know the difference between a record that'll move the needle and taking a sample that's just ridiculous and putting it on 75 BPMs, and it's just knowing that it's not going to do what. Don't pitch that to a major artist and think they're going to take it, even if it's dope. They might take your shit and go get another producer to change the whole record. Yeah. Right? Yeah. That's just the facts. Shout out to Delly. Delly was dope. Delly redid his own record. We had a sample. And
super dope.
Delly, super nice guy, too. A lot of these guys are super. You know what I would say producers need to work on, too, is just their character. Meaning, like,
hey, we got a rule in the chop shop. We don't interview assholes. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how dope you are.
Top 10 assholes in hip-hop.
I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I trust me, I get along with everybody. But there's a few of them out there that I can see. that I'm just like,
let's not name names. You don't want another
names.
It'll be Eddie. It'll be like an Eddie alert. Like, did you hear what he said about so and so?
Hey, but you know what? Sometimes we got to move the needle too, man. And keep some integrity. It's all about that. I feel about I'm really passionate about keeping some integrity in whatever I do, whether it be DJing or my day job or this podcast. Like dudes can't get butthurt on opinions, and if you're a man's man or a lady or whatever, then it's all subjective. But you know what I'm saying? It's not personal. It's my point of view, and there are some assholes, I know, for real.
But there's a lot of them. What are we talking about?
I'm just like, all right. Exactly.
You know what I said? There's cool people who have mean streaks, and then there's mean people who have cool streaks. Yeah. Right? Yeah, and a lot of people in music, just that's what it is.
But if you're nice, it just travels, and that's to your point, man. Yes, you were saying about Delly, wonderful guy, and most of them are,
And it's hard for the because trust me, like,
how do you think that they're gonna break into the industry though? You have great ears, and hip hop. You know the trends, the producers. Like, there are so many dope producers, and I know you've heard them, whether it be on sitting in a room on Session N or sitting in Overlord Radio. There's just, it's not even scratching the surface of dope. Yeah. I'm asking you for, even for me, like a older guy who, like, do we play our lanes and just do what we're good at, or don't expect anything? Where's it heading, man? What's your advice to these producers? Like, for real, like, what are you doing?
I'm gonna get a little deep here, but there's a book called Mastery by Robert Greene, right? And he did 48 Laws of Power. And in the book, it basically teaches you to strip away who you think you should be and get to who you are. So we're talking sports earlier, right?
Yes.
When you're a kid, 10 years old, you're not thinking about a 6-year contract. You grabbed the wiffle ball bat and you went in the backyard and you were
Darryl Strawberry or whoever you were, right? If you were a painter, you just picked up a paintbrush and you painted on the can. You didn't think about an art gallery that you had to sell your paintings in, right? And in music was, I want to be the executive A&R at Warner. I want to be the VP. I want to be Birdman. I want to be, but when you started it, you just like vinyl. Yeah. That's all you did it for. There was an innocence, right? Yeah. And your innocence got you to a lot of places, right? And then once you go ahead and you have that expectation put on of who you think you should be, life has a way of going ahead and knocking you off your pedestal, whatever it is, and teaching you some hard realities. So I learned, that was me. I learned an identity by not getting that job, right? Yeah. My identity came from traveling and connecting, and somebody said to me, Matt, you're doing the human experience. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you're bringing it back to connecting with people in person. And I was like, oh shit, I'm the Jerry Maguire of hip hop. That's me. Right? Yeah. Show me the money, help me help you. Right? Yeah. And just like what he did when he walked out that office with the fish. That's right. And he was like, all the people up at the office were like, they had
who's coming with me?
Huh?
He was like,
who's coming with me? Right? Yeah. and that's exactly what it is. So you're saying to yourself, so I'm telling producers, the reason I circle it back. Yeah. Why are you in it in the first place? Yeah. Did you just love chopping and making, like, did you just then immerse yourself in what you love? Yeah. And people will hear the love that you put into your detail. Yeah. Right? Maybe the first one doesn't go. Maybe you need to find an artist and say, hey, you know what? I don't want one joint on so-and-so's album. Yeah. I want to do what J.R. Rodham did. J.R. Rodham was the first guy that he teamed up with Zach Katz. And he said, you know what? I'm going to do Sean Kingston and Jason Derulo. I don't have to do every beat on the project.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. J.R. Rodham, an incredible producer. Yeah.
Great pop records. And
out of the stratosphere. Started with hip-hop, too. And then just...
and you know what made him
he ascended quick. Yeah.
What made him successful? He stopped chasing track number 7 on people's albums. Yeah. He stopped chasing, I hope 50 Cent picks a beat for me. And he started going ahead and saying, you know what?
Yeah.
With Jason Derulo, I could produce 6 joints or 1 joint and I'm still getting paid. Yeah. Right? So I would say to these producers, get into the habit of producing with artists. Right? Yeah. Make records with them, create sounds with them, create magic with them. And if you think it's about $1 and you're only in it for $1, you're going to have a very painful journey, you know, and stop cross comparing lives of like, I want to do it like him. I'm going, they don't know what we go through in these moments that we're taking pictures. Yeah. They don't know any of that. It's for 2 seconds to go click and then you're off crying because you just lost $10,000 on a deal or whatever. Or, you know what I mean? They have no clue. Yeah. And that's what I would say too. Like, love your own journey. Like, that you're not meant, like, I'm not meant to be Steve Lobel. Steve is Steve. Yeah. I'm meant to, but it takes a long time to just start getting into your own focus on yourself, because you might go, well, I don't have a house, but I have an apartment. I don't have a car, I have a bicycle. I don't, so I understand the, not to yap about it, but I'm big on perspective and information. And it's our job as people in their 40s and 50s to help these younger kids know the information so they're not banging their head against the wall, frustrated on why I'm not where I want to be.
That's my, I mean, I feel that. I feel like, man, I mean, I don't need to tell, the people know who I talk to, that I'm always there for them to sort of guide their path. It's just like, it's crazy. And I'll be, we can wrap up in a little bit because we have to do a second episode, another episode. There's definitely, man, there's so much stuff and so many layers, to you, Matt, that, there are a lot of producers. I do want to ask him a segue to and we can exit. Like, are there any cringeworthy things the minute you hear a beat, you're just like, nah?
Oh my God. You know what I can't stand?
I can't stand where somebody wants to show me the record that they sampled and then how they chopped it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of that beat. I'm sick of that beat. Don't play me the original one for 30 seconds because one, if I go ahead and use it, it's immediately going to get picked up, right, by some sort of whatever, some app that shuts my shit down. So I'm sick of that. I'm glad. Oh, amazing. You chopped fucking Prince into 40,000 pieces. Okay.
All right.
Yay. That's cringeworthy. Another one is blatant biting. Like, I get influence. Influence is cool. We've all made joints that are like fake Dilla and fake Primo and fake Dr. Dre. I can't tell you how many fake Still Dre beats I've ever been submitted.
They're called type beats.
Type beats.
Type beats.
Type their ass off my computer because I don't want to hear them. Right? That makes me go. And I think also Kelsey and Overlord had one guy. They gave him a candle. I don't know his name, but his beat technically was crazy. But it was so fucking annoying. Pardon my language, but it was doing too much. Stop. I just want to ride in my car and vibe out. I don't want to hear. Oh my God! Then a vocal sample comes in, and oh my God, it's like, and then they're gonna give you a candle. I'm going to go ahead and take a hose and wash you off my speakers. I don't want to hear that.
Oh,
right? Yeah. Sometimes you just listen. Scarface made simple music, bro, and I could ride to it for 25, 30 years and be good, right? Don't be so caught up in the ego and trying to impress people with what you're doing with the beat. The point of beats, and has always been, to create songs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We want to hear songs. If not, throw some instrumental albums out and leave me alone.
And there you have it. That's what I was trying to get around to, man. That's the gem right there. Like, just know your lane, and if you want,
man, that was
there can't be both.
Talking about preaching, man. Jesus Christ,
man.
Now I'm gonna go to sleep with this annoying vibe on me because now I'm gonna be thinking about their beats and how they annoy me. No, but I'm like, shout out to all the people who really just are trying to find their way and doing their best. Just stay away from sampling from YouTube. Stay away from that because you can do it to practice. Yeah. Do it to practice. But unless you, a lot of time, or stay away from video games. Do not sample video game music. It will never get cleared. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about, it's a major label and independent. No, bro. If you want to license it to a movie, to something else, to ESPN, they're going to say absolutely not.
Yeah.
Right?
That's crazy.
So what are you doing this for? Unless you're 19 and you live with mom and you're just chilling and you have a little girlfriend and you just take her and that's all you do, then that's great.
There are millions of kids like that, by the way.
Congrats to them. I go, great. But if we want to do a record, you want to do something that you can license it and it can live on and you can make your sync music and your publishing or whatever. And are you in the music industry or the music business?
Man, listen, I hate to, we have, there has to be, there's going to be another Matt Fingaz because
we have to.
You might even be reoccurring, man, because like this has been a master class.
Oh, we should do a reoccurring series with you, bro. Like business series,
Yeah.
Hey, I just graduated from film school and I'm into educational modules and teaching. I spoke to Young Guru about teaching, and I just wish I had that, bro. Like, not to keep going, but I wish I had a Yoda in my life. No, don't sample that. No,
dude. Hey, your impressions are A+ too, man.
Thank you. Most Def, Q-Tip, and Yoda, right? And Busta Rhymes. But Yoda, I wish I had that. We learned very hard.
You can't afford it. Like you learn the hard lesson the hard way. You put the work in. You laugh because
Okay, well, go ahead.
But on like for real, like you put the work in. So now you're the Yoda. You know what I'm saying? You paid it forward, man.
Yoda needs a Yoda, bro. I'm tired. I need a Yoda for me. We all need a Yoda. That's where I'm going. I don't want.
I'm gonna tell you right now. The minute you release, the minute y'all release that Kumba shit, I'm telling you right now,
it's over.
That's
I'm gonna get a bunch of Yodas coming to my door.
Yeah, there's a different lane, bro. For real. That's. And I already know that to produce, like, there's so many records that she has with other legendary producers, like, you know.
Wait till you hear the Carvin Haggins record. There's a Carvin Haggins record.
Oh, shouts to Carvin and Ivan, man. I love those guys, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's singing on the whole, like, it's basically a Jill Scott, Erykah Badu vibe on the whole. It's totally different than anything I played you.
Is that
right?
That record's done.
It is so fire.
You got
it is so fire.
Like off and like maybe tomorrow. Can you play a little bit for me?
I'll play you off the record.
Okay.
I'll play it. But yeah, I think as much as we give back to other people, I say we all need some help too. Like we're trying to figure it out. It never stops.
It doesn't.
The learning never stops, and the journey has always got some fork in the road we're trying to figure out. And you know, so yeah, we all need hugs, bro. Like I'm like, this is hard.
That's been great, man. Hey, listen, Matt, for real, we truly appreciate you, man. That's, like I said before, a masterclass, and
I appreciate it.
You know, I hate
Oops, sorry.
hustle hard, and just perseverance, man. With some integrity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and don't be an asshole, people. Just don't be an asshole, man. Because
and if you are, own it. If you are an asshole, own it.
Yeah,
you know,
because
apologize. I'm sorry for being an asshole. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry I called your snare a piece of shit, and you know I'm like.
Hey, can we go out to hold on, man? Kumbaya, man.
That's what we all have to do is hold on.
Yes, for sure. We appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's therapeutic. I love it.
Oh yeah, definitely therapeutic, bro.
Yeah.
Why wear rose gold you are composed of on the quest for a tribe that will give you the most love. Gesture defines worth, purchase a tow truck. For these bigger vehicles are little and close up. And then be too many racks ready to coon ya, leaving you unsteady on a bed of petunias. Cheers for your pettiness, they said it the groomers. To perform or be penniless or drawn to the Henny sip. I said blind out the day I break on my uñas. Knowledge hit the population like Nagasaki. Why they probably undervalue me at the Hobby Lobby. I'ma be pulling residual piranha teeth about me. So throw a stone at a prodigy. Dichotomy, a deacon who shot at me. And vegans eating a pot of meat with some ribs. Lie on a Myers-Briggs. Only time they heard of a Newton was trying figs. If the writer want the whole song, better hold on. Yeah, I'ma hold on. Yeah, in short I prolong and hold on. Yeah, I'ma hold on. I say, yeah, everybody just, yeah. Facets of me I'm fashionably endowed to. So I gotta make a pattern rapping with houndstooth. Pork on the silver fork, put it in brown stew. Do it like I was James DeWitt. Lyrics so strain your lip, put it on Twitch. Yo, shout out the house shoes. Saying what I mean, so I need the amount due. The color of the green, like a gallon of Mountain Dew. Do you put your whole mouth in the fluid, flooding your house too? They gon' mount you with an ounce or two in the faucet. Make it dirty, so New Jersey asks, what is a caucus? We could decompose foes, don't.
Oh my God.
Siege did this joint, right?
Yes.
Siege, you know what? I want to.
Go ahead.
The sample. This is the lesson for the. We bring it back. That was Biggie, Me and My Bitch, right? In that beat sample.
Oh yeah.
That cost $10,000, bro. And Siege wishes he said it to me. Man, I wish I could have had a chance to replay that.
Oh right? Man.
So
was it Chucky Thompson or something like that? Maybe.
Yep.
That's what I thought. Yeah. That was yeah.
So hey,
and you think about that. They weren't. Chucky Thompson definitely was like, I'm not sampling anything. I'm playing my shit out. And then now here it is, 20 years later, somebody's sampling it. But that was amazing.
Great record by Siege, though. I mean,
but just Kumbaya. All right, so listen, man, this has been great.
It's great.
Part two with Matt Fingaz, man.
Thank you, guys. Good dad gang. Shout out Terminology. We're all good dads up in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need that T-shirt.
It's what it's about. That's why we're in it. It's what it's about. The kids.
Good Dad Gang.
React.
Why wear rose gold? You are composed of on the quest for a tribe that will give you the most love. Gesture defines worth, purchase a tow truck. For these bigger vehicles are little and close up. And then be too many racks ready to coon ya, leaving you unsteady on the better petunias. Cheers for your pettiness, they said it.